Hello and welcome back to Assassin's Creed 2. We are continuing where we left off, which I believe will be in Monteriggioni. But as far as the story, looks like we are supposed to meet with Mario to get some more information about where to go to find the Pazzi conspirators.
Ezio! Come in. To what do we owe the honor?
Been sent from Firenze by Il Magnifico to attend to some unfinished business. I'm looking for Jacopo de Pazzi.
Ha! Who isn't? We've been at it for days.
And perhaps what I carry will help us both. A list of his co-conspirators. One of them will talk before he dies.
Excellent. These men are sure to lack Jacopo's resources, which means they will be easier to find. I will put my scouts to it at once.
I appreciate the help, Uncle. I've got something else for you as well. More codex pages.
Ah, let's see what we can learn. What is this? What prophet?
What did you find, Uncle?
Just another damn mystery. The text here roughly translates to only the prophet may open it. There's reference to 2 pieces of Eden, but these pages offer no answers, Nipote. At least, not on their own. You must find more.
We'll have to save it for another day, Uncle. I have a mission to attend to.
As you wish. Now, if you hope to defeat these bastardi, I will need to teach you a few things. Meet me on the practice field.
Evasive maneuvers. Meet Mario on the practice field to train.
All right, Ezio. You're familiar with counterattacking, but what happens when your enemy is as well?
I don't usually give them the opportunity.
Tough talk offers little protection against Templar steel.
Then by all means, Maestro. Teach me what to do.
Now dodge. Figlio di Troia! Enjoy the ride down to hell!
Bene, bene. Now do it again. Much better. One last time now.
Bravo!
Let's see it another time.
Poor little Peso, dying just to follow orders.
Just one more time, Ezio.
Oh! Magnifico! Once again, you exceed my expectations.
Signore, we found Jacopo's men, and they wait your word to strike.
Relay the following. No man moves until they have spoken with Ezio. Intesi?
It will be done.
Go, Ezio. Visit with my mercenaries in the countryside. See if Jacopo's lackeys won't lead you to him. But be careful. They will be expecting you.
Okay, so the next main mission marker is going to put us over in Tuscany, San Gimignano area. But before we do that, we're going to do some exploration. We've got the tomb here in Monteriggioni that we can do, the Auditore family crypt. We can also go back and do the Palazzo de' Medici in Florence. Okay, we don't need any repairs. We do have the Helmschmied set if we wanted to go ahead and upgrade. So we're looking between 22 and 23, so we have just enough if we wanted to do that. Let's go ahead and do our tomb here first. Now, this tomb was originally available from Uplay with your reward points. I don't know if in this edition of the game, the Ezio Collection that was remastered for PS4, I don't know if it comes standard with that one or not. But if it doesn't, then you can get it through Uplay Connect. Paying respects. Explore the Auditory family crypt. Venice, 1296. I was raised in a small house by the Venetian lagoon, within sight of the rough foam-capped waves of the sea. When I was barely old enough to walk, I became a sailor, navigating the Atlantic first as an apprentice, and then while carrying cargo for my father's patron, Messer Marco Polo. It was a good life. One day, while ashore in the harbor looking for work, I fell in love. She was barely 20, but when I looked into her eyes, the whole world was reflected back, clearer and brighter than the sun. After that, I still went to sea, but my heart remained on land with the girl, who had become my wife and our young son. One afternoon, that summer, Messer Polo called me into his study. My father was already there, beside an older man dressed in a strange hooded cape, watching us. At that moment, everything about my life changed. My father told me that he was an assassin. Removing his ring, he showed me a strange marking on his ring finger, explaining that our family came from an ancient order that protected and defended mankind. He paused, and then, when I didn't speak, Messer Polo stepped forward. He told me that the stranger in the hood would teach me, and in return I would carry him across the Mediterranean to Spain. And so began my apprenticeship with Dante Alighieri, one that was to destroy every bit of happiness I would ever have. Okay, so that switch will just keep it open from this side. You could hear the timer counting down. In preparation for our voyage, Messer Alighieri met with me repeatedly. At first, our meetings were about purchasing supplies, but soon they became about higher things, about life, love, honor, and justice. He taught me that society was set up in such a way as to control its members, to stop us from thinking, from seeing. Soon I could look past all the laws and illusions. I understood that mankind was being used by its rulers, that we the people deserved freedom, It was then that Dante began showing me pages from a book that Messer Polo had brought back from the palace of the great Genghis Khan. The manuscript, the Codex, was about our order, the Assassins. Okay, so as in every one of our secret locations, assassin tombs, Templar lairs, there are 2 secret areas. The first one is here, so before we interact with that switch, we're just going to go over here. And we're going to dive and swim underneath this gate. Alright, and that's our first treasure. Alright, so we can come back and interact here. Once again, you're on a timer, so you just want to swim this way as quick as you can. And I missed it. Okay, we'll do it again. There we go. Alright, so there's our next family history marker. Our planned voyage never took place. While returning to Ravenna to pick up the remainder of his belongings, Dante died. Dismayed at the loss of my mentor, I went to inform my father and Messer Polo of the sad news. Before I could even speak, I was ushered into the study, and my father, his face white, locked the door behind me. Shocked, I listened in silence as he spoke. Dante intended to take the Codex to Spain, where it would be safe, but he was being watched. The enemy of the assassins, the Knights Templar, still existed. I recalled the stories he had told me of the Templars, and it all became clear. Dante had been murdered. The Templars knew about the Codex, and they knew about us. Shaking, my father told me to take the Codex and leave for Spain at once with my wife and child. As Messer Polo ushered me out the door, he handed me a small piece of paper with a number on it. With this number, I could draw on his credit more ducats than I had ever seen in my life at any bank in Italy. trying to make sure I don't miss our next secret treasure. We set sail that night, the ship filled with cargo to sell in the markets at Barcelona. At first, all was well. Then, to avoid a coming storm, we laid anchor in the Otranto harbor. Cloaked in darkness, the pirates came. I didn't see them until they were already boarding my ship. I hid with my family in the hold. Pulling out the codex, I ran the worn leather cover through my hands. Then, I broke the spine. The pages slid silently onto the floor. I scattered them into the chests, boxes, and containers I was carrying to market. The men who found us were drunk. I could smell it on their breath. When they asked for the codex, I knew who had sent them. Holding back my rage, I said that I had thrown it overboard. They started to laugh. Two held me down, still grinning, while the rest cut off my wife's clothes. She begged for mercy until her voice gave out. Once they were done, they threw her into the sea. They took my cargo and sunk my ship, and left me adrift, clinging to a piece of railing. I made it to the beach with my son. My wife's body washed up on shore the next morning with the tide. Okay, so this switch will just open the way back to where we came. We don't really need it, but we'll do it. This is what we're looking for our next secret. Alright, and that is both of our secret locations. Okay, well that's not what I meant to do. That again, shall we? I never saw the sea again. Making my way to Florence, I rented a small room and then visited the bank. I had memorized Polo's account number. With the vast sum I now had at my disposal, I went to Venice in disguise to find my father. I returned to Florence the next day. Both Polo and my father were already dead. From that moment forward, I collected treatises on architecture, studied the classics, and took vocal lessons. I adopted the name Auditore, impersonating a noble at the Florentine court. Accepted as one of their own, I took on the trappings of nobility and constructed this villa for me and my son. And then I hunted them. I raised my son to fight, to find the Codex, and to kill Templars. Together we would regain the honor of my wife and avenge the death of my father, two debts that would never, could never, be repaid. To the auditory that reads this, remember, you are not a nobleman. You are not one of the deceivers. You are one of the people. Avenge us. Sometimes there's a horse over here, but if not, you'll just have to run back to the entrance. It's not that big a deal.
Rest and you should be well recovered, friend.
We bought a new medicine pouch, but hadn't filled it yet. Might as well start buying some art, although I do want to put some money into some new armor.
Grazie, and come again.
That'll do for now. I don't think we have any new pouches. Well, we have the large medicine, but I don't think we need that yet. Let's go ahead and try out this bonus skin for a little while, since we can do that without spending any money on it.
But my goods are worth the
And we already bought... Yeah, we already bought a new sword and a new dagger. So let's go ahead and...
Yes, I only serve the elite.
Backed out too far. Let's go ahead and buy our new armor.
Your coin seems genuine.
Which, of course, the paintings and the new armor bumped up our value again.
Salute, Claudia.
You here to look at the book?
So now we're at 67 every 20 minutes and a max capacity of 26.8. And so you'll see that the equipment is part of the weapons, the armor, is part of our collections to 100% the villa. And so are all the paintings.
A presto, Ezio.
And you can now see that's the armor we were wearing. And now we're wearing this set, which is why it's just a shadow. Same thing with the weapons. You'll slowly start to see the weapons fill up. And you'll start to see paintings on the walls. The gallery area, like this one that we just bought. And then more paintings will show up here, like these two. We are up to 3 paintings of our targets, but we've only looked at one of them. We looked at the painting of Umberto. Then we have Vieri de Pazzi. A picture of the Templar Vieri de Pazzi, son of Francesco de Pazzi, date of death 1477. So it was 1476 for Alberti, and then 1477 for de Pazzi, for Vieri. And then Francesco picture of Templar Francesco de Pazzi, head of the Pazzi Bank, perpetrator of the Pazzi conspiracy, date of death 1478. So 2 years between our first and third assassinations. Alright, so I think next we will head back to Florence and do that Templar lair. Do you have anything for me?
Good to see you, Ezio. Care for a bit of practice?
Maybe. Okay, so what unarmed combat taught us about throwing sand. We could learn one of those. They start to get expensive. We'll wait on those. We'll have to learn them eventually,
take
but
a break.
we'll do it later. Oops, sorry. Gotta work on my bob and weave. Alright, so we're going to go to Florence, and we're going to do the Templar lair, which is at the Palazzo Medici. Let's just go to Leonardo's. It's central of the city, so usually it's, you know, for anything in the middle of the city, which I think this is. Anyway, I'm going to step away real quick while it's fast traveling, and we will be right back.
May this year's festival of San Giovanni be a time of great joy and pride in our... Forgive me, sir.
Home invasion. In 1479, infiltrate Palazzo Medici and save Lorenzo from the Templars.
What happened here?
Signor Lorenzo!
Lorenzo's currently indisposed. Hey, you're the one who killed Francesco de Pazzi. Get him.
With pleasure.
That you! Get him!
Now! Just be ready to strike when the... What's wrong? Ah, you're still breathing.
So I was trying to grab him so I could, hold and kill. But for some reason, every time I hit grab, instead of grabbing him, it picked up one of the weapons off the floor. A little weird, but that's what was going on there. Okay, so for some reason this palace is being a little bit weird. Usually if you're locked onto an enemy, he doesn't have that problem where he throws knives and they miss. Usually if you're locked on, it's a pretty guaranteed hit. But for whatever reason, and it won't let me loot. Oh, that's because it's the wrong body. Okay. Really? Don't want to give me back my knife, huh? Okay, this is the first of our secret treasures. As soon as you come off this ladder, walk around to the back, do a backwards jump.
I know I heard a noise down there. It's time to earn your florins. I want half of you to search the courtyard, the other half come with me to check the chapel.
Si, Capitano.
Then we check the secret passageways.
What about Lorenzo?
By now, Lorenzo is already dead.
There! On it!
That looks a bit like...
There! On him! I want him caught now!
So from here you can see that open window, and I believe that open window is where our next treasure is. I'm just double checking. I don't think you can get to it from this floor. I think we're going to have to get it from a higher floor.
Eccolo! Where the hell did you see which way he went?
We'll get him. Where did he...
There! I see him!
Are you afraid?
Okay. So from this window, our path should go left, but instead we go right. And if you just drop down on this ledge, and then shimmy left. And there's our second secret treasure. Now we can take a shortcut getting back, come to the left, or sorry, right, and then aim for that beam. And then shimmy around and go in this window.
Lorenzo! Porca vaca! Someone, find a way to get inside there!
You heard him? You two, get a ladder!
What are we doing with the ladder?
Lorenzo isn't coming out.
He's there, on him!
Right, cover all the angles. Remember how we took out the Paisan trash?
Okay, so if you have to fight the big brutes, you know, if you can get an assassination like this guy, great. But if you have to fight them, like this one, in my experience, there are two quick ways to kill them. One is to counterattack with the hidden blade. If you get your timing down right, it's an insta-kill. The other one is to go barehanded, disarm them, and then hit them with their own heavy weapon. That's usually an insta-kill as well.
Get back!
Lower your sword. It's me.
Ezio. Again you saved me. First they enter my church, now my home.
I'll hunt them down. They won't come near you again.
Look around you. This is one of my treasure rooms. You're entitled to take anything you wish from it, in thanks for what you've done. I trust my apartments are safe now.
Yes, signore. Thank you for this most gracious gift. I must go, but I will come to you again when all the Pazzi are dead.
I will not forget what you've done for me. Buona fortuna.
So, unless I'm mistaken, I believe there are 8 assassination contracts in Florence. So I think we'll go ahead and do like 2 of them right now before we move on with the main story. Then we'll travel back to Monteriggioni, empty out our chest, and see where we go from there. We may or may not get to main story today, but it's okay.
No! No! Stay away from me! No! No!
Where these vodkas coming from?
Dio del cielo! He hurt someone. Kill him,
Day at the market. A plot against Florence's supply line has been detected. End it by killing the merchant at the marketplace in the San Marco district.
Only the best of raiment here, friends. Silks and clothes of finest weave.
Nota bene that if you should buy 2 or more triptychs, I'll throw in a small travel-size fresco. 2 triptychs, an altarpiece, and a portrait. Don't forget to send your friends. I've never seen a stranger man, truly.
fallen archers. Several Pazzi archers attacked the Palazzo della Signoria last night. I've tracked them to the edge of the river in the San Marco district. Kill them.
Another southern infantile.
All who need aid are welcome here.
I use only the finest wool, silks, and leathers. My craft is love.
He'll hurt someone pulling stunts like that.
Not a bashful type, is it? Concerning the Republic's fountains, please do not use dyes or fuel in municipal water sources. Remember, all tanning must be conducted outside the city limits. Offenders will be fined. Good people of Firenze, a message from the Arche della Lana. May this year's festival of San Giovanni be a time of great joy and pride in our great città. The masters of the hills, all and cleaning services for all in one spot.
Is there something ailing you, friend?
We pride ourselves on delivering good quality.
Truly, I am blessed. Grazie for your patronage. The quality of our...
Okay, so we have bought all of the paintings in Montergioni, and then we bought all of the relatively cheap ones in Florence. We'll keep adding to our collection of the Florence paintings when we go back there to get assassination contracts. We've got some extra money. Let's go ahead and
Let's see how well you fight.
learn at least one of these. Let's go ahead and do, I guess, the ranged weapon.
Once more, Ezio! Just one more time, Ezio. Well done, Ezio. Well played, my friend.
That means I also need to go buy more knives now, but...
Sure, I have just what you... Pleasure, signore. Return anytime.
So special moves like that you cannot actually use unless you've learned them. Alright, let us go ahead and head out towards Tuscany. And we can at least start doing viewpoints and stuff like that. And we could take the fast travel, but since I know I want to spend some time running around getting viewpoints and stuff, I'll go ahead and take the horse, and then we can just keep our horse and run around the countryside for a bit. So we already got the first viewpoint, which was around here. We're going to go ahead and go this way and kind of work our way counterclockwise around the city. We're going to avoid the mission start for now and just focus on unbogging the map. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should... Let's stop inside the city first. Pick up our treasure map, and then we can get our countryside treasures at the same time we're getting the viewpoints. That makes sense to me. It looks like we're going to need to tear down a poster or something because we already have notoriety from the last time we were here.
Faster and faster! Stay back, dog! Guards, help me! Stay back!
Never seen a stranger man, truly.
Get away, you murderer!
Have you lost all reason? Yes,
What exactly prompted that outpouring of impertinence? Take what you want!
Okay.
He must have you Kakazat when moving the gun.
Oh. What I went in there for was the poster, or the artist, and I didn't do it. Got distracted by the courier.
Only the height of the smithy acts are available.
Provate le mie salsicce! Whatever your artistic needs are. A pleasure doing business.
I have served dukes, princes, kings.
Monte Oliveto Maggiore. Founded in 1313 by Bernardo Tolomei, the monastery of Monte Oliveto Maggiore is Benedictine in practice. Benedictine monks are the most mainstream, practicing peace, prayer, and work, while living in autonomous communities with their own local government. Monte Oliveto Maggiore owned most of the land in the Siena region, so having its own private government would come in handy when dealing with such riches, as would a good lawyer. Fortunately, Bernardo Tolomei was a jurist, leaving the monastery in a very lucrative state by the time he died. And there is a cliff here as well.
I would eat. Pazzo. Ah, not my problem.
Three thefts, hidden by the murders. People only see what they're trained to see, what the organization wants them to see. Wolves are out hunting. Where has Jack gone?
Operation New Frontier. HQ has given the go-ahead to extract the resource. Negotiations are over. F is planning to give the vote to everyone. Reason just doesn't work with someone like that. I'll send you the driver. We've trained him with PE2 in our labs. He shouldn't be any trouble. The motorcade route is marked below. Once a target has been downed, either by Oswald or Z, use PE1 to stage a distraction. Make some kind of phantom appear around this slope I've marked as an X. Freak people out. The driver will grab PE3 in the confusion. Dealey Plaza, Dallas, Texas. So I was trying to decide if we should do feathers as well, or just do feathers in a separate run. I think we're going to include the feathers as well, just because otherwise we'd have to come back up and reclimb some of these structures. Easier to just do it while we're here. Okay, so there is a feather here. Oops.
Laggiù! There! Dove?
Well, I wasn't going to fight you guys, so I guess I will now. Maybe one of them will have a medicine. Or not. What happened to my horse? Yeah, that wasn't weird at all. Villa Salviati. Made wealthy through its connections to the Pope, Archbishop Francesco Salviati purchased the Tuscan villa in 1475 in anticipation of becoming Archbishop of Florence. He spent the next few years having it renovated in the Tuscan style, while plotting with the Pazzi family to invade Florence. Sadly, this left him very little time to enjoy it before his inevitable demise. After the conspiracy went south, archival documents indicate that Salviati swapped his archbishop outfit with one of the residents of Florence, who was then lynched in his place, while he escaped to his villa. And you can already see our feather down there when we were doing the viewpoint. So we're going to go this way.
Which godforsaken hole did you crawl out?
Bizarre. What's with him?
And this little amphitheater out here is going to have a treasure, a feather, and a glyph. Little one-stop shop. There's also this little sliver of the map that just does not unfog. Got the viewpoints. It just stays foggy. But that's okay. Antico Teatro Romano. Inspired by Greek theaters, which had a similar structure, ruins of ancient Roman theaters can be found throughout the territories once ruled by the empire. Typical Roman theaters were constructed of concrete, a material no longer used in Renaissance Italy because the recipe had been lost. Their semicircular design created superior acoustics, allowing spectators to hear the plays, speeches, or choral events performed on stage. Notice the lack of marble? Renaissance Italians practiced a rudimentary form of recycling when dealing with Roman structures. Any marble that could be found was ripped off the buildings to be reused for free. Okay, you can kind of see the feather up there in the distance, the columns. I don't know if we can take our horse any further in. Let's find out. No, oh, no, I want you to go up the... Invisible wall.
Something was up there. Something abandoned long ago. Jack deep underground? It was easy.
Away, filth! Assassino! Help! No respect for art! Oh, tra-la-la.
Okay, so I do want to get more of the treasures and stuff, but I'm running out of time on today's stream, and since we've started getting the feathers, I feel like I need to try and finish the feathers so we don't have to split those up between multiple streams if possible. So I'm gonna kind of make the rest of these feathers and viewpoints a priority. So this feather should be, if I remember correctly, yeah, it's on that wooden beam there. So we just need to make our way to the beam. Okay, we'll head towards this viewpoint. There'll be another feather near it. You start running into a lot more rooftop guards here in San Gimignano, and they start being tougher. Most of the rooftop guards here you'll need 2 knives to kill.
Die now!
we might have read this one. Rising 54 meters above San Gimignano, the city's largest tower, the Torre Grosso lives up to its name. Unlike some of the other towers, it even has a bell inside. Construction of the Torre Grosso began in 1300 and finished in 1311. There will be one of our secret tombs here, which we will find later. Let's go this way. Okay, so there's the feather. So this next feather isn't actually at the tailor shop, it's at the tower near the tailor shop, but this will do for our marker.
Get down, quick! All right, spread out.
Posso vedere quella là? Sai che manchi? Chi era?
What a skill, huh?
And there's the feather. I opened the map and didn't mark it. Okay, so we are headed towards... Once again, it's not at the blacksmith, it's the little tower next to the blacksmith, but...
Go away. I will kill all trespassers.
He might be a problem. I'm gonna try to ignore him. Santa Maria Assunta, referred to as the Duomo by locals even though it doesn't deserve the title because the town has no bishop, Santa Maria Assunta was built in the 12th century. Shockingly, it has no tower, although in San Gimignano, the city of towers, such an act of celibacy coming from a church was probably a smart move. There is a glyph here which we will find shortly. I'm going to focus on the feather first. Or maybe not. I don't want to forget to come back to it, so let's just get it first. Palazzo Comunale, San Gimignano's town hall, was built as the seat of the municipal government. I believe we read that one.
He wanted to stop the cycle, to tell the secret. Ugh, shit! I've gotta keep thinking. Ruin the headaches.
The economic transmission of power without wires is of all-surpassing importance to man. By its means he will gain complete mastery of the air, the sea, and the desert. It will enable him to dispense with the necessity of mining, pumping, transporting, and burning fuel, and so do away with the innumerable causes of sinful waste. It will make the living, glorious son his obedient, toiling slave. It will bring peace and harmony on earth.
He found it in Croatia. He found it in Croatia. They would find it in his lab.
We already got the glyph here at the Torre de Salvici. However, there's also a feather on the beam of one of these towers. I just gotta figure out which one it is.
Not supposed to be here. Go!
There it is. So, the shorter tower. there's just one more feather, and it's going to be along the wall here.
Hey, spare a thought for others you might injure. Get down, Strongsoul! You should not be up.
Show some respect. The guard have little patience for your sort, Gariolfo.
You shoot the Picasso! Get down from there! Ora! Down! Now! Cazzo! Get down! You earned that!
So that is all the feathers in San Gimignano. It would have been nice to get some of the treasures too, but I am out of time for today. So that's okay. We will go ahead and fast travel back to Monteriggioni, refill our stuff, pick up our money, and that's where we will go ahead and save and quit. So this front entrance here is always a good place to look for couriers if you want to try and track down couriers. It's just also usually very full of minstrels too, which can be a pain in the butt.
I've done what I could, but perhaps you should avoid the deeds that brought you.
Oh, we already bought those. I don't think we have any new pouches.
Oh well, next
Well,
time.
technically we do. We have the large, but we don't need it yet.
No offense, but I didn't think you had them on.
We have 42 feathers, so there are 2 feather rewards. The first is when you get to 50. The second is when you get to 100. And there are a total of 100 feathers to collect. Alright, and that will do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.